It's March 8th, 2026. The world is watching in horror as the conflict between the United States, Israel, and Iran explodes into a full-scale regional war. What began as targeted airstrikes has now spiraled into something far bigger, something that could drag in global powers and reshape the future of the Middle East. Today, we bring you a deep dive, minute-by-minute breakdown of the latest developments, expert analysis, and what this means for global stability, oil prices, and the risk of World War III. Stay with us. This is not just news. This is history unfolding in real. As of early morning on March 8th, U.S. and Israeli forces have launched coordinated strikes on Tehran, Isfahan, and multiple military installations across Iran. The Pentagon confirmed that over 80 fighter jets were involved in Saturday's wave of attacks, targeting command centers, missile launch sites, and nuclear-related infrastructure. Iran has not backed down. In retaliation, Iranian drones and ballistic missiles struck U.S. bases in Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, and Qatar. One major airstrike hit a U.S. air combat center in Abu Dhabi just hours after Iran's president offered a conditional apology, a move analysts call too little, too late. Tragically, 6 U.S. service members have been confirmed killed, all from a single Iranian strike on a base in Kuwait. Dozens more are injured, and CENTCOM warns that casualties could rise as the war enters its second week. Meanwhile, Israel has intensified its ground operations in Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah commanders linked to Iran's Quds force. Israeli Defense Minister Katz authorized a full-scale invasion on March 3rd, and fighting is now raging along the border. World leaders are scrambling to respond. The United Nations has called an emergency session, with Secretary General warning that the Middle East is one miscalculation away from uncontrollable war. Russia has stepped up support for Iran, reportedly sharing real-time intelligence on U.S. naval movements in the Gulf of Oman. While Moscow denies direct military involvement, analysts warn this could pull NATO into a dangerous proxy conflict. China has urged maximum restraint, but continues to purchase Iranian oil, defying U.S. sanctions. European allies are divided, some backing the U.S., others calling for an immediate ceasefire. President Trump, speaking from the White House, declared, "We will not stop until Iran surrenders unconditionally. There will be no deals, no negotiations, only victory." Iran's President Pezeshkian fired back, "Tell Trump to take his unconditional surrender demand to his grave. The human cost is mounting." Hundreds of civilians have been killed in crossfire across Iran, Lebanon, and Israel. In Tehran, hospitals are overwhelmed. In Beirut, entire neighborhoods lie in ruins. UNESCO reported that debris from an airstrike damaged the Golestan Palace, a World Heritage Site in Tehran. A violation of international law. Oil prices have skyrocketed past $150 a barrel. Global markets are in turmoil. Airlines have canceled thousands of flights. Hundreds of thousands of travelers remain stranded across the Middle East and Europe. In the Strait of Hormuz, Iran's Revolutionary Guard attacked a Malta-flagged oil tanker with a drone, warning all ships to stay clear of the unsafe zone. This raises fears of a total shutdown of one of the world's most critical oil choke points. Military experts say the U.S. is preparing for a long war. Washington officials estimate at least 3 more months of conflict, costing up to $1 billion per day. The USS George H.W. Bush Carrier Strike Group has arrived in the region, the third U.S. carrier now deployed to the Middle East. B-2 stealth bombers are reportedly staging from UK bases, and rumors swirl that the U.S. may deploy the mother of all bombs, Moab, against underground Iranian facilities. But Iran still has retaliatory power. Intelligence suggests Tehran may have around 1,000 ballistic missiles remaining, enough to keep U.S. and Israeli forces on high alert. The big question: will the U.S. commit ground troops? So far, the Pentagon says no. But if Iran threatens to close the Strait of Hormuz permanently, all options could be on the table. This isn't just a Middle East problem. This war affects you, your gas prices, your investments, your safety, and the stability of the global order. If you're an investor, expect volatility. Defense stocks are surging. Oil and gold are safe havens. Tech and consumer sectors could take a hit. If you're a traveler, avoid the Middle East. Flights are being rerouted. Consulates are issuing emergency warnings. And if you're a citizen of the world, pray for diplomacy. Because once this fire spreads, it may be impossible to put out. We'll continue to bring you live updates as this crisis develops. Subscribe Hit the notification bell and share this video, because the world needs to know what's happening right now. This is not just a war. It's a turning point in history, and we're all living through it. End screen. Stay informed. Stay safe. Subscribe for live updates.